Hello everyone, my name is Viviana, I'm the CEO of TalentCake, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to today's masterclass on team forming. Today, we'll dive into the essentials of finding the right co-founders and building strong, successful teams for your startup ventures. TalentCake is a Swiss-wide cross-university entrepreneurial excellence program that brings together the most driven entrepreneurial talents from the different Swiss universities into strong interdisciplinary teams and supports them in becoming entrepreneurial leaders that make a positive impact on society by bringing science-driven innovation into application through entrepreneurship. At TalentCake, we believe that finding the right co-founders is absolutely crucial to the success of any startup. That's why we focus on team first. We pick the most driven talents and first of all support them in finding great co-founders because we see that a driven team of strong, diverse founders who are committed to become successful, they will eventually find an opportunity and a way to solve it. Whereas many teams who are very focused on a specific idea and one idea only, they split up on the way when the first challenges arise or if they have to pivot. So far, in our cohort, we have an average of about 15 teams per cohort forming, and we're so proud to see them successfully raising rounds and building sustainable customer relationships and going forward to becoming really successful entrepreneurs. So, why is the team so important? Let's explore. First of all, a well-rounded team with a diverse skill set and expertise can really tackle a variety of challenges more effectively and complement each other in the process. Also, you can divide the tasks and the accountabilities, and that does not only reduce your workload, but it also enhances efficiency and minimizes the conflicts by really allowing each co-founder to focus on their strength and their zone of genius. Co-founders can also provide each other with the emotional support and motivation that's kind of needed to navigate the highs and the lows of the entrepreneurial journey. It will get really tough, and knowing that you are not alone on your journey, knowing that if you fall or you have a dip in motivation, that there is a strong group of people around you that have the same stake in the company and really keep pushing forward, will make the entire team more resilient and will also alleviate the stress and responsibility on your shoulders. You're also reducing the risk of the startup failing with several strong leaders in the company. As we all know, life happens, and sometimes things get in the way. So you could get sick or for any other reasons be unable to give it your all. And a strong co-founder team will be able to navigate this so much more easily. And unlike a hired team, they will not depend on the founder being the beacon of light, motivation, and leadership. With several strong co-founders, you also naturally increase your network and the credibility of your company. Having different strong co-founders that bring network and skill set and experience in the very different aspects of what your venture needs creates a strong credibility and also opens many more opportunities. And last but not least, a diverse team can bring different lived realities and different perspectives to the table, ensuring that you cater your product to the reality of a broader audience. So a diverse team can detect unconscious bias of each other and can really better assess risks for different stakeholders. Especially in the early stages of a startup, up until around Series B, the core team of the co-founders is one of the most valuable assets you have. So, where can you find potential co-founders? Of course, you can first of all start looking in your network, look around you. Do you have friends or university peers or colleagues that seem to be extremely aligned with your own goals and ambitions of building your own company? People that you trust and that you align on with your values, but are also different enough to bring a valuable new skill set and perspective to the table. It should be people that you respect. However, do make sure that you evaluate that friendship and that relationship to understand if this is simply a great friend or could also be a really productive business relationship. To help you find people who have the same ambitions to start their own ventures, you can of course also use the many fantastic offers that are there in the ecosystem that really dedicate their time and energy in finding the most promising talents and then bringing them together. For this, you will pretty much anywhere in the world find there are abundance of events and contests and clubs and programs that are dedicated to that goal. And at TalentCake, we're of course one of them, and we're very much looking forward to hearing from you if you want to tap into our highly selective community of driven entrepreneurial talents, and also if you want to start your journey with us. There's also an abundance of online platforms, co-working spaces, and matching platforms that really bring together people both digitally and physically based on their interests and ambitions. But wherever you have found your potential co-founders, it's important to take time and really assess your compatibility in depth. We see that the most successful teams very quickly get into doing the 4 following things. First of all, they start working together very early in the process. So find any topic you're interested in and start exploring it together. You will understand very quickly how the other person functions, where there's also potential of conflict, and where you need to start communicating better. Secondly, the most successful teams also spend a lot of quality time together. Make an effort to bond and spend time together outside of the work environment to really get to know each other and get a personal connection on a different level. This will tell you a lot about how you vibe and if it's easy and if you want to spend a lot of time together, because most likely your co-founder will become one of the most important people in your life. You will have to rely on them and spend a lot of time together, and you really want to choose someone you enjoy seeing every day. Third, we see how important it is that co-founders quickly get into the habit of aligning with each other on the current project, but also on the concrete goals and milestones they set for themselves. Even if you don't know how long something will take and how hard it's going to be, and even though you will miss milestones and you'll learn a lot and adjust, we find that it is important for teams to quickly get into the habit of creating serious goals for themselves and really try their best to achieve them, be accountable if they're not achieved, and derive learnings and grow better and better together at achieving their own goals, independent on others setting deadlines, pressures, or goals for them. You will be the leader of your own venture, so start leading yourself first. Last but not least, they're also diving very quickly into the hard conversations from the very start. And for this, we have developed the Founders Agreement that we will present to you today. In this masterclass, we'll delve into the critical topics you should discuss with your potential co-founders to ensure alignment and readiness for your journey together. Remember, choosing a co-founder is like entering a long-term partnership. You'll face complex challenges and sudden changes, and you will make life-altering decisions together. So this tool is to help you to get to know each other very well and understand your compatibility in depth before going on this roller coaster ride together. To make this happen, 3 years ago, we collaborated with 5 successful entrepreneurs to create the Founders Agreement. It is based on the experiences of these entrepreneurs who have raised millions and scaled their companies to hundreds of employees. It addresses the topics they wish they had discussed with their co-founders very early on to avoid the setbacks and failures. Since then, it has supported hundreds of young entrepreneurs in the Talent Geek program and also beyond on their way to successfully founding a startup together. It is designed to really help you align on your crucial topics before starting your startup journey. It's not a formal contract, but really more a working agreement that reflects your shared vision, your values, and your commitment to each other. While things may change and evolve, the agreement provides a solid foundation that you can continually come back to and refine. And actually, we see many of our teams also using it later as a basis for their legal shareholder agreements. We're not here to give you legal advice, but we will give you a way to discuss in depth and run through the different scenarios for what kind of setup you personally and your co-founders are comfortable and happy with, preparing you for then setting formal agreements up in the future. Today, we're thrilled to have 2 of the founders who helped design the Founders Agreement here with us, shaping the following lessons. Melanie Gabriel, co-founder of Yokoi, and Christoph Roduna, co-founder and CIO of Scandit. They will each cover several sections of this agreement, and they will also enrich it with their own personal examples, their insights, and their experiences. We're so excited to be able to have them here with us today and share this valuable tool with all of you out there. So, Melanie and Christoph, before we start, can you tell us a little bit more about your journey so far, why you also believe a strong co-founder team is so important, and why you have decided to contribute to the Founders Agreement?
Hello, I'm Melanie, and I'm the co-founder and former CMO of Yokoi, a fintech and AI company based in Zurich with branches across Europe. Yokoi provides AI-driven spend management solutions for medium to large enterprises globally. I co-founded Yokoi in 2019 with 4 other co-founders. From there, Yokoi rapidly grew to 200 plus employees, raising over 100 million in seed to Series B funding from top VCs like Sequoia, Leftlane, and Boulderton, making it one of Europe's leading scale-ups. After Yokoi, I co-founded followthegradient.io, a platform for European founders and startup operators offering a weekly newsletter, a podcast, and other resources to address key startup challenges we had ourselves. I also lecture on entrepreneurship and investing at the ETH Zurich and the University of St. Gallen, serve on the board of the startup Mood Talk, hold different advisory roles, and invest as an angel.
Hi, My name is Christoph, and I'm one of the co-founders of Scandit. At Scandit, we use computer vision to make businesses more efficient in their data capture processes. Together with my two co-founders, Samuel and Christian, we started the company while we were PhD students at ETH Zurich, which was about 14 years ago. Through these years, we have had several funding rounds with investors such as Ariel Lüthi, Atomico, Google Ventures, NGP, and Warburg Pincus. Quite early in our journey, we expanded into the US and today have 6 offices in the US, Europe, and Asia. Since the early days, the focus of my work has changed a number of times, from coding to legal to internationalization. But today, I am the VP Engineering and CIO, which means that I'm responsible for our software development team and the delivery of our products.
So why do I believe that a strong team is important? Being a strong team is the ultimate key to success. Yes, the timing is important, as well as solving a true problem for a huge market, but with the right partners in crime, it becomes much easier to manage the ups and downs of getting a startup off the ground, to turn around, hold each other's back during difficult decisions, and challenge each other to never stop shooting for the stars.
Melanie already said it. When you're building a company, you're going through many ups and downs. One day, you're super excited about all the opportunities you're seeing, and the next day, all you see is obstacles and fires. With the right co-founders, it is much easier to navigate this journey. Starting a company together is an intense experience, and your work relationships will be more intense too, simply because of the number of hours that you will put into your startup and the level of collaboration it will require. So having a strong team of co-founders will go a long way.
So when asked why we chose to contribute our time to the Founders Agreement, my answer is quite simple. I would have loved the opportunity to learn from those who had already walked the path when we were starting out. So in a way, I want to be that person for others that I wish I had for myself. But what about you, Christoph?
Founding teams are so important, often more important than many other factors. You can be right or you can be wrong with your early product ideas. But that's something you can fix relatively easily. But with the people that you choose to start your company with, it's a different story. They will be there to stay. So it is really important to establish a strong foundation for all of you early on. And that's what we're trying to do in these videos, to give you some pointers for conversations that will help you build such a strong foundation.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. And now let's get started on building the foundations of your future success.